Hello, welcome back to Elephant. Last episode, I think we got one level done. Was it one level or was it? Yeah, it was the fancy double stretch level, right? Yeah, it was. Okay. So this episode we're gonna move on. We only have four more to go. Also it seems one fairly normal level, one shivering level, one communication level, and then this thing. So yeah, okay. So as we get to the end of the world, I did look up these symbols, what they're called, and how they're pronounced. Well, I didn't see how they were pronounced, but I can tell you what they're called. This is the Hebrew alphabet, and there's a pretty interesting little situation going on at the end. But we'll start at the beginning. This is Aleph, obviously the whole thing that we've been working with the entire game. This is an Aleph. This is Bet, which is pronounced as the letter B. So these two form, what we call the alphabet. That's why it's called that. Aleph and then Bet. This is Gimel, which I think is the equivalent of Gamma on in the Greek alphabet. This is Dalet, which is the equivalent of Delta in the Greek alphabet. You can kind of see that the symbols don't really match up anymore. Like this looks a lot more like a lambda for some reason, and this looks more like an actual gamma, but this is called a Gimel, this is called a Dalet, and they are the equivalents to gamma and delta. And then after that is this one. This is actually the fifth symbol in the Hebrew alphabet. So this was supposed to be part of the main line, but now that we've already gone through this entire thing, I'll do this last again. This is He, or He, I don't actually know how you pronounce it. But this is supposed to be the equivalent to, I think, epsilon in the Greek alphabet. Obviously, it probably isn't because the alphabets evolve over time. And then after that would be this one, and this one. This one is actually pronounced. Well, this one has two names. It's either Wow or Vav, and I think it's supposed to actually be a flexible pronunciation. You're actually allowed to pronounce it either way. I wonder if I wrote down the. Did I write down? Yeah, no, yes, no. Um, it's like how the letter V was used as the sound W in Greek. It's exactly the same idea here, and I think in ancient Phoenician, this alphabet is the W sound, so that also tracks. In the previous world, just let me look at it. It's supposed to be a W sound as well, yeah. So this was supposed to be the H sound, this was supposed to be the W sound. Of course, in Greek, they made it so this is the V sound. I don't remember exactly what that looked like, so let's see if I can quickly just check back. Oh, it's this symbol, by the way. So in ancient Greek, it is supposed to be this symbol, which is the zeta. Oh, okay, we might have missed something here because the zeta is not pronounced zeta. Oh, it's not pronounced V or W or whatever. It's pronounced. I don't know how you pronounce this symbol. But yeah, this epsilon used to be the H sound, which makes a bit of sense. But then English now has two separate symbols for each of those sounds. Anyway, so this is the wow or vav, W-A-W or V-A-V. This one is Zayin, which is, I believe, the Z sound, I think. I don't actually know. Then this is Shit, C-H-E-T, Chit or Shit. I don't actually know which one it's pronounced either. I think it's Chet, because the CH is probably the Ch sound and not the Sh sound. This is Tit, which is the T sound, I think. It is complicated enough, I would say. It looks like a slight variation of the theta. You can sort of see a theta-ish symbol here. And then, yeah, this one is Yod, which is the Y sound, I believe. Other symbols also do have that Y sound, which do come after the T sound, so I'm assuming that that also fits. In the Phoenician alphabet, after the T sound comes the Y sound as well, yeah. Then this is Kaf, which is the K sound. This is Lamed, which is the L sound, also where lambda comes from. And this is Mem, which is the M sound. And so over all of these, there is one very obvious pattern going on, which is this set of symbols from K, L, M, and O. Those are all there. They are all in that exact spot, pronounced the exact same way. So somehow, from the very beginning, there was already this stretch of letters, this K, L, M, N, O, P. Those set of letters have been there throughout the entirety of our evolution of an alphabet, which I think is really interesting. Because, you know, compared to English, all the other symbols are kind of, well, I wouldn't say all over the place. I would just say they're in a different order than how English does it. And actually, they're all very similar. English is the only one that stands out, so I would say English is the one that deviated from that path a little bit. Oh, I don't actually know if the English alphabet is the English alphabet. Do we create this alphabet for the purposes of writing in English? Because I'm not sure if that's true or not. Like, everyone says that the English alphabet came from the Phoenician alphabet, which is true. The Phoenician alphabet is this one. And yeah, there's like a lot of similarities in our letters and stuff, but what about the actual modern English alphabet? Disregarding all the extra random stuff that has gone on in our alphabet. Like, apparently, fun fact, the ampersand symbol used to be part of the alphabet. Which is supposed to be short for and per se, and, because the and symbol means and, so at the very end of the alphabet you would say and per se and, so like and, as I've just said, and then when you shorten and per se and, you just get ampersand, so that's why the symbol is called ampersand. Fun fact, but like that's no longer part of the English alphabet anyway. But yeah, I'm very curious as to how the English alphabet came about. Like, what was it originally used for? This exact set of glyphs, the exact set of 26 plus glyphs. What was it for? Was it for English? Was it for like, did we like come up with it back in England, like when the Vikings arrived or something, like 1066, whatever, English, blah blah blah. I don't know. It's entirely possible that this set of symbols could have been used for a separate language that English just took. Maybe the Vikings used it, I don't know. I don't know how the Vikings do their stuff. They have their own alphabet, I would assume. But it's not really showcased here. Anyway, yeah, sorry. Back to that interesting coincidence. Even in English, you get this very special set here, which is the K, L, M, N, and then O also. O is also very commonly after N in like a lot of these alphabets. So in here you get let's see. This is iota. This is kappa. K. Lambda L. Mu, which is M. Nu, which is N. And then there's this symbol, which is in there for some reason. I don't know why it's there. But then after that comes O, and after O comes P. So yeah, L, M, N, O, and P are all very tightly put together in every single one of these alphabets. If you go to the Phoenicians, this is kappa. Oh, I say kappa, this is the K sound, this is the L sound, this is the M sound, this is the N sound. I don't know what this sound is, but this is quite clearly the... this is a blank sound actually, so... I actually don't remember what this sound was. Let me just look back at my notes again. This sound was... Oh, the S sound. Oh, okay, I guess the Phoenicians had it a bit different as well. But yeah, K, L, M, and N are all very tightly put together. In the Abjadi, it's also the exact same actually. Let me look at the notes that I wrote down for the Abjad. This is K, this is L, this is M, this is N. This is S also, I think. Which makes it even more interesting, because this actually follows the Phoenician alphabet. That they have an S here, and then that one is a blank sound as well, which again follows the Phoenician alphabet. But yeah, you'll see that K, L, M, and N are all together here, and when you go to the Hebrew alphabet, it's also the same. This is the K sound, then the L sound, then the M sound. So yeah, that's a very interesting pattern. I don't know why it's been kept like this, even though everything else keeps trying to swap around throughout the various points, throughout the various versions of the alphabet. But yeah, I don't know if it's 100% a coincidence, but it also, I find it really interesting that when we sing the alphabet song, we also rush through lmnop like really quickly. I think it's just a coincidence. I find it really interesting that lmnop is the most so-called stable part of the alphabet throughout the entirety of its history. So yeah, that is all the history that I have to share with you about the alphabet. I think it's really cool to look at all this stuff. Yeah, so I learned about I learned about the alphabet in general playing this game, which I guess was kind of inevitable, but yeah, really cool when a game gets you to research stuff like that. I like it. But okay, back to puzzle solving. Last episode we did this level, so this time we're gonna move on to this one. Level cuff. Okay. Oh, jeez, what is this? Okay, everything here has already been connected. The middle section is the most pushable. So, okay, all of those are interesting. That is definitely the ending section, because once you get in, you cannot get out. I definitely want to enter through here. So, like, I want to do something like this, so I can do that. If I enter through here, I could not access this one. Okay. Does that then imply that this guy has to stay in this position? I'm not sure. We also have these guys. But, like, I suppose once I enter them, I can just leave. Oh no, this might be a trap. Unless I leave horizontally through here. Because look at this. If I were to enter through there, and I go down, I would teleport here. And if I wanted to enter this, and I go up, I would teleport back here. And you sort of get this, like, bouncing effect, where you can only go left or right. Sorry, up or down. Did I say left or right? What? I don't actually know how to get in there by myself, but I know that the only way to get in... Or the only way to feasibly get out... Okay, you know what? No, I can do this. Okay. Hold on. I want to do this. How do I want to do this again? Once I do this, I'm kind of stuck, right? Yeah. I can't do that. That is also really bad. Wow, how do I get this? I feel like one way to enter is for this one to be over here. It will still cause an equal and the same problem. I probably want to do a pulling effect. I don't want to do that kind of pulling effect. Okay, let's see if I can maybe I want to do something like this. That looks okay. Yeah, okay. Oh, but I can't get in myself. Oh. Oh, I can definitely teleport over. As long as this guy wasn't in the way. So maybe like this. Ooh, okay, not like that. So once I teleport over, you can start seeing some issues. When I do this and I bounce back and forth, I legitimately cannot escape. Even if I tried to go out through this line, it's not doable, because I just teleport back through. So like, ideally I want to be able to teleport that way, but obviously, I don't want to enter through here. I want to enter through here. So I need an LF here, I think, to prevent me from teleporting in there and getting stuck. So is that the goal of this level? To get an LF into one of these four? That seems a bit tricky, I think. Because that would mean the LF has to be probably on the top row compared to a Nikud. And how would that happen even with a pull? Even with a pull, that seems a bit challenging. I mean, what other possibilities are there? I suppose another possibility would be to block one of these guys so that when I go down or up, I don't teleport over and I can just leave. But then the problem is that how would I do that? I don't know how I would do that. This is such a small space, actually. Such a tiny area. Okay. Well... how do I get pulling? I don't know if I ever want this stack. This stack looks bad. Like, I want that to not be a stack, right? I feel like a stack is just really bad in general. Also, this guy has like zero purpose. The only way I could see an actual reason for you to exist is if I broke something and I reformed it. Also, that's available. Interesting. So, yeah. Ooh. Hmm. What else can I do at this point? I suppose interestingly enough, this is an available spot to push something into. I don't know why I would ever want to do that though. Okay, Is there perhaps any other way to get something, an LF up here? I don't think I ever want like a vowel sound in this spot, right? Because like, if I could teleport in one of those things and have a vowel sound here, I would just get stuck. Again, unless I teleport out of that towards the right. But yeah, the goal does still seem to get an LF is to get an LF here. Either that or block one of these LFs so that I don't teleport onto them. But that seems like an even harder thing to do. Okay, this move is possible. I'll pull this possible to maybe like get you out of the way. Never any real way to do things though. Like I suppose that push is valid. But why would I want this push to happen? What good is this push? This push doesn't help me in any way. If I manage to get you out of the way like this, could I maybe push you down to this row? Why is that useful? I don't know. Okay, well, another thing I could technically do, I think, is by pushing you here. I can't get it to be horizontal by pulling upwards. That can only happen in this or in this spot. But then there's another problem. Okay, let's say I did this. Ooh, no, I don't want to break anything. Do I? Is this pull useful? No, it's not. Okay, is it okay for me to think that this is the LF that goes in here? If I pushed you up, is there any reason... I mean, this is really bad because I can't really access this area. Never could have. If I did something like this though, then it becomes accessible. I cannot make you face this way. I don't see how that's useful. This actually gets things more stuck. Because I can no longer push this way. I can break though, but... Oh geez, yeah, that is a thing I can do, but... Yeah, no, it's really bad because I can't reform you. I could use one of those things to redirect into a right position. But since I'm going to be stuck there anyway, I can't actually come back to reactivate you. So I don't think I want that. Like, the best I can do is probably just, like, legitimately break you. Like, this is the only one I can feasibly break. I don't know if I like that. I mean, I know that this move is reversible, but only to a point. But like, nowhere in any of those two positions can I actually get this to go past it. The only way I can get it to go past is if I did that, which opens up the entire row, but also gets this guy stuck at the same time. This pull doesn't do anything different. I can break you again if I did this, but I don't want to break, as I've said. I mean, the reason why I wanted this to go past the teleporter is because... I don't know. Do I... I mean, that push is available, but I don't see how... I suppose one way this could happen is if, like... If I manage to make this a stretched... How would I make you a stretched, How would I make you stretched, anyway? Okay, we might be going somewhere interesting with this. Are we going somewhere interesting with this? That didn't do anything. I mean, I suppose it allows me to do something like this. But I thought that got us more stuck. That's not something I wanted to happen. Ooh, wait, but this move allows me to pull this back. Oh, okay, we've swapped their positions now. Okay, that's very good. The idea is I think I want a stretch like this, but obviously without breaking. Well, not really a stretch. I suppose... Like... what do I suppose? I suppose if I could, like... That's a lot of stuck objects. I don't know if I like that. Also, this doesn't really help me get an Aleph up there. Is it even possible to get an Aleph up there? It doesn't seem possible. Also, like, this can no longer be... it's very hard for this to be horizontal anymore. Ooh. I mean, yeah, we swapped positions. Is that okay? This pull is kind of awkward. I don't know if I like that. What in the world am I doing? Oh my goodness, you can do that. Is that okay? No, we still want an Aleph up here. Yeah, I mean, I've stored that in a spot that isn't gonna, like... I mean, it prevents me from being able to teleport over to the left, actually, so that is kind of a problem. I mean, yeah, I suppose this teleport is still valid. And therefore I can... Ooh. And therefore I can teleport like so, but... We still meet the exact same problem, don't we? Yes, yes we do. So again, somehow... Aleph up here? That seems hard. Well, yeah, this is somewhat better, but not good enough. I thought this was a very good move, too. Is a stretch ever possible? Like, if I wanted to do a stretch... A stretch would kind of require, like... It would require another LF here, I think. Which I don't see happening anytime soon. Yeah, it would require another LF here. So I can pull this guy over. I don't think so. That's a break. Nope. Very useful. Actually, why is a stretch useful anyway? I don't see how a stretch would be useful. I think a stretch, I wanted a stretch to get this, to swap positions with this, but we've already done that here, so there's no reason to find a stretch again. Also, I stated that this is the only useful, like, this is the only spot where I can pull vertically, but why do I want that? There's no reason to do that. Huh. Okay. Aleph up here? Yeah, how do I get an Aleph up here? How would I do that? An Aleph up here would have to be transported from, you know, here or here. I suppose as long as I could get an LF to be on the top 3 spots in relation to the vowel sound. But that require a down pull of this guy, no? Like a down pull of this guy? Which would require... need to be pressed against something. Okay, so... yeah, if it requires me to be pressed against something, it's either this wall or another vowel sound. But if I press against another vowel sound, there can't be a vowel sound that goes down. Not even in this column. So I don't think that's it. I'm thinking, is a stretch also possible here? Why should a stretch be possible? Actually no, a stretch would not be possible. Okay, well, another thing that could happen is... can I get this all the way to the other side? Like, can I pull this over? I don't want this to be able to pull over. Maybe that's why... no. Why is this useful? I don't think so. Okay, let me just backtrack all the way to the point where I swapped the 2 positions so I can remember exactly how I did it. So, okay. After... what? So after pulling you over twice, I pushed you down. Okay, and then swap positions. Alright, I get it now. Let me just see if I can quickly replicate that idea. So swap, not swap, no. Just pull, go up here, no, go up here. Do a swap like so, alright, and then pull you back down. Okay. Alright, I can replicate this. I know how to swap you guys in terms of position. Alright, let's go back and see what else we can do. Still a bit confused as to why this spot is available. Once again, I think it might have been to allow this to be over here. And then in some way I push backwards here. And I can teleport up and down. Or I can keep going after pushing backwards. I don't exactly see how that's useful. But I'm wondering if a backwards push can somehow activate or like can somehow set things up. Can a backward push ever set things up for me? Also, I've never really thought about interacting with any of these guys in terms of pulling, but I don't see how that's possible. I don't see how that's useful. You might have to get this all the way to this column to be able to do any useful pull. Or you might have to get this out of this row to do any useful pull. And even though you can pull, that might not be actually a useful pull. That quote-unquote useful pull might just be another failure state. Because like if you pull this Nikud down here, this Kamatsu down, it would fail. If you pull this Kamatsu to the left, it would also fail. So I don't think there's any reason to interact with any of these guys. There's no way to get back either, right? No, and you can't like fit anything in through here. Like, I really don't think there's any like weird interaction where I'm allowed to do that. No. Okay, so the answer is no. I don't know what I'm doing. I think like I'm trying to figure out if there's any other alternative than put an LF here. I haven't really deemed it impossible to do that yet, but it's increasingly unlikely. In my eyes, it looks increasingly unlikely. Alright, let's quickly do that swap first. So like, okay, if I did this... Okay, hold on. Give me a sec here. Ooh. I want to do this. I want to do this and I'll put you up there. I want to get it to face this way. The reason why is so that I can get you out of the way. So why is this useful? Actually, it's not. It's really not. I could also get it to be down there. Ooh. Okay. So like, this technically allows me to go in here and do a push. Oh, this push actually lets me teleport back, so I don't quite see the reason why. I mean, I do suppose that, you know, I could try and pull you up like that. Actually, that might actually be doable if you weren't on this diagonal, if you were on your other diagonal, which I think was like this. Where do you come from, by the way? Right, I pulled you down. Okay. Give me a second to see if I can set this up first. I want you to be back in this diagonal. And then the reason why I want you back in that diagonal is so that something like this, what in the world? Oh, I just got you to flip that way. Oh, I mean that could be a use case for this hole. How did I do that, by the way? I put a I put a Kamas in between. Yeah, I guess. Okay, hold on. Give me a second here. I'm gonna shove you in there first, so you don't really do anything to us. Just get you there. Okay. So what I wanted... Oh, that might be a problem. Yeah. Okay. What I kind of wanted was to be able to pull up from here, which allows you to pull this entire thing up. But I don't see there being any reason to do that. Okay. No, but the accidental discovery of this move made things a bit more interesting. And that move doesn't require this diagonal either, but yeah. That now becomes available. I don't know why I want the head. Because again, that doesn't actually help me, does it? I don't believe it does. Also, in theory, I didn't need to swap diagonals here, so like, this would have also worked the exact same way. With maybe a bit more leniency. Actually, it's not a lot more leniency. It's very little leniency. Okay, what am I doing, by the way? I don't know what I'm doing anymore. Nothing has helped me get anything up here yet. I saw that a pull like this is technically fine. Well, I say technically fine. Because you can redirect that, but I don't know how good a redirect there would be. Doesn't seem very good at all, really. I don't see it being very good. I mean, okay, suppose... Oh. Yeah, that teleport being there is not good. I was gonna say, like, suppose you teleported from here over to here. You could redirect this to point up and it'd be somehow useful, but it's not gonna be useful because I can't actually get back. So I don't want to do that. I don't think I want to do that either. I could technically do that. I could technically do that. But why would I want to do that? That is more of a breakage. Like, look at this. This is now fit in here very snugly. But why? Why is there a need for that? I can't pull up here. You know what? You know what? You know what? Can I get you to really be pulled up here? Because that would act as a... That would act as a glyph, but it would be a failure glyph to teleport into because this would be pulled in this way. I'm not sure that's good or not. That doesn't feel very good. And that would happen regardless, so... I don't think that's very good. No. Okay. Yeah, I don't see it. Teleport. I mean, it just seems like this has to be this exact commands. Oh, this exact Aleph has to be the one up here. It just has to be. Alright. Let's see if I can envision exactly how I would try and do that. I don't know. I just cannot envision at all how this Aleph would get up here. Like, there's no real way, right? Unless I can somehow up pull twice on you, which itself already seems kind of challenging. Although not impossible. I suppose if I got you up into this row, I could shove this underneath and then use that the up pull twice. Yeah, I mean in this area that would be really nice actually. So why not let's try that. Let's try to do that. There could be a reason why this glyph has to be just shoved in there without being a problem for us. It would be kind of a problem for us. So yeah, and then I can see if there were if this were here, I could teleport from here all the way there and push this out. Well, not really. Kind of, actually. Yeah, okay, alright. I see some vision, so let's start by doing the usual, which is, well, we already know what the usual is. Just kidding, have I already forgotten what the usual is? This is the usual. Did I just undo it? I think I just undid the swap. Alright, there you go. Okay. Something I kind of wanted to do is like this and then a pull from below. Yeah, so this is what I wanted, right? This push is bad. Is there any way I could do this and then still get you out? Yes, I think. I really don't like when that happens. Okay. Okay. I want to find a way to separate these guys without having to do anything really bad. In particular, this teleportation glyph has to stay in the center row, I think. That's not entirely true, but it's basically true. Okay, so hold on. Let's go back to when it looked like this. Is this technically easier to work with? It is, but this is the only place where... Yeah, I don't really see how. Hold on. If this happened... I just want to get in there. Okay. So if you instead look like... There you go. Wait, what? No. Wait, what was the plan here? Why did this? What was this plan supposed to be? Oh yeah, the plan was to pull this up, but that pull is definitely bad. I think. Yeah, this push is definitely equally bad. How do I separate these guys? How do I separate these guys? I mean, yeah, that's a separation. Okay. I guess that works. So it was to separate you guys. And in fact, I think that is something good. Because I want this pool to be available. This can stay there. This would allow something... No? Ah. Okay. Let's get you, let's get you over here first. Let's get you there next. Yeah, I think... No, that's not good. I mean, yeah, I suppose this teleport is fine. The reason why I wanted this teleport is to push this way. But no. want this, and I want to teleport inside here. Wait, why do I want to teleport in there either? There's no reason to teleport in there either. How to get you to pull up? Yeah, the goal is just this, right? And then I pull up from here. But how do I get in there? There's no way. Wait, there is no way to get in there. Maybe I'm thinking about this wrong. Well, not necessarily. I think there's another way of doing this if I flipped it around. Okay, so you go back there. If you were in here and then you were here, this pool is available. This pool is also good because this push is available. Well, that push is available, but first I need to free you, I think. I don't know if I wanted you to look like this. I mean, yeah, I can pull twice. In fact, yeah, this pull is not good. I needed you to be vertical, see? So if I needed you to be vertical, how would I pull that off? Also, hopefully... no. I was gonna say, hopefully I could have got you further out, but I think this is as far as you'll go. Nope, just kidding, that's not how as far as you'll go. Yeah, well, this isn't gonna work, but yeah, I need you to be vertical first, so... Can I actually ever have that happen? I mean, this is the only horizontal pull I can make without losing the progress that I have. So I want this, but I don't want that. Okay, hold on. Let's go all the way back to when we did that special unsticking. Did this have to be like that? I think the answer is no, right? This could have been vertical. Yeah, okay. It definitely could have been vertical. Okay, so this can push here. This can push here. Oh, it did have to be vertical because then you pull up. Ooh, it did have to be slanted. Oh, okay. That's interesting. That's really interesting, I guess. I wonder if a horizontal would be useful. I mean, like, yeah, okay, you can sort of see that, like, we are almost there. That's just a failure state. That's a failure state, so I don't want that. So while we did get this glyph up here, that wouldn't help. We need to get this glyph up here. Okay, one other thing I can try and do. This move lets me pull up this way. Maybe that's all I need. Maybe I'm close. Maybe I am close. Maybe I am close. But this guy is stuck down there, and like it's really hard to pull that one up now. Right? How do I pull you up? Yeah, that's not gonna work. How do I pull you up? I don't think I can pull you up, can I? I don't know. We are like really, I don't know how close we are. We actually don't look very close at all, I don't think. I feel like I'm getting further and further towards the right answer. But there are a lot of extra stuff. There's a lot of extra stuff going on that isn't technically part of the solution. Okay. Let's see. So this pool is valid. What other pools are valid? There's no other pool that's actually legitimately valid though. I mean, I can get you back down now, but this doesn't help. I still can't pull you up, so there must be some other way, I think. Actually, yeah, no, if you were horizontal, it wouldn't have worked the same. Yeah. Ooh, I don't know if I like that. Let's not do that. Yeah, like this pull was never valid unless you were down there on the ground. But if you're down there on the ground, then I can't pull you back up. Without you being equally as much of a problem. Because, okay, you know what I was thinking? Was, because something like get you to point, be up there. Like, what could happen next? It's actually kind of hard to pull off. Oh, what? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. How close am I to the solution? This looks really close, but not that close. If only this worked. Too bad it just does not work. If it worked, a lot of other things would have worked as well. Trying to envision this. I don't know what I'm trying to do. I mean, wasn't this horizontal to begin with? No, it was vertical to begin with, okay. We've made some progress. Can we continue from here, maybe? Is there, like, a way I can... Maybe this is, like, another puzzle already. It's, like, part 2. Phase 2 of the puzzle, where it's more like... Now you gotta pull this up by one more, and then... Either I pull down this by one? No, I mean, yeah. But that's a little bit challenging, I guess. Wait a sec, I'm just gonna shove this in first and see what I can do with you right now. Like, right now that looks bad. If I could get you to point the other way. How do I get you to point the other way? I do that. That's interesting. That's interesting. That's more interesting, but can't teleport. I can't have access to this guy anymore. And if I try to do it anywhere else, I break, don't I? Yes. And if this were just out there, yeah, that still breaks. It's like I have to specifically be here. But then obviously there's a big problem with that. Also, isn't it a bit weird that I could have gotten this to this state like a lot earlier? Could I have gotten to this state a lot earlier? Did I have to actually pull up the entire... What did it look like? It looked like that. Oh. Can we go back there? Yeah, can I go back there and see something? Just what if I... Where did this come from? Where did this horizontal... came from there. Right. Did you have to do... you had to look like this so that I could... Okay. Okay. Whoa, I didn't mean to do it that far. Just teleport. Sorry, this pull doesn't do anything. This pull does something, but like not to the best extent. But we did want to set that up so we can pull it horizontally. I'm thinking about it horizontally the other way around, but I don't think that really does anything, does it? And even if it were... I couldn't quite pull that off. Not here. Nope. Here is bad. Everything gets stuck. And pushing this down basically is equivalent to a failure state. And then once again, I could theoretically do this, but then, you know, we get very stuck trying to pull that off. We're getting a bit further, I think. I say we are, but are we? Kind of? You know what? I can escape, can't I? Hold on. If I shoved something in here... Like... Let's say I want these diagonals. When did I have a good diagonal I could shove in? Isn't that good enough? Yeah. Oh. Wait, that means we're done. If I get you out of the way... I did this pull. This, that... I can exit out here, and if once I exit out here, we're done. Wow, alright. So, okay. There was a bit more nuance to that, I think. But... Hour? Almost an hour, actually. We could end this video on an hour. Anyway, yeah, wow, this level... The final solution... well, I had a lot of ideas. I don't know if I could have pulled this off without having to pull up this guy. I wonder if I could have done that. Okay, no, but that did require this to face the other way and the Niku to be in there. The Sagol to be in here. So we got like part of the solution, then we drifted off and then we came back. So I guess that's it. Alright, that was definitely a puzzle. Next episode, we're moving on to this one. So that will be the shivering puzzle. We'll see what I can do then. Until then though, I think that's gonna be it for this episode. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys next time. Bye bye.